Today we've got a real treat as we take on the rebuild of one of Italy's biggest clubs, AC Milan. With a squad already packed with incredible talent and a fresh manager at the helm, it's the perfect time to see how far we can take this side over the next 5 years. There are no restrictions today. This is your classic rebuild. Our mission? Win as many trophies as we can while improving the squad and playing in the new manager's system. Let's dive in. Then this is going to be AC Milan inside of the game. We know how good they are. They are a very, very top team. And personally, when I think of Italy, my head goes to AC Milan or Napoli, to be honest. Now, I will go over and say this rebuild is all going to be done using the Sergio Conceição new system. I've got a tactic on my main channel. And I will say as well, this rebuild isn't going to be the most challenging, but it is going to be interesting to see how far we can take this team over 5 years. Now, reputation-wise, it's immaculate. Training great, youth facilities great, youth recruitment also looking really, really good. The owners love the club, the finances are pretty stellar, and going over to their history, they've already got a lot to talk about, okay? We're talking about a club that has they're serial winners, is what they are, but there is a dip obviously in terms of what they've been winning, and that's where I'm going to come in. Now, looking at their actual team in the tactic as such, they've got top players, guys. They really do. Tammy Abraham on loan. He's not going to be my first choice striker. I'm going to be toying getting him or not because I have got a man in mind that I want up front. Leao is going to play a big part in this system because this guy is just absolutely exceptional. What a player this man is, and still very, very young. Pulisic, again, is actually a really good player that a lot of people don't give him the credit for. He's still only 25, which, I'll be honest, I'm guilty of thinking he's like 29 because it feels like he was at Chelsea for 6-7 years. But, you know, time doesn't obviously fly that quickly. You then got Loftus-Cheek, again a previous Premier League man. Musa, Rinders as well. We've got a good right back, a great left back, and you can see in this tactic as well, very dominated on the left-hand side. Tamori, great other centre-back partner, and Mike Mayan in goal, and a decent bench. So the players aren't really the issue in this team. Not having the best season. Obviously, they have now got a brand new manager, and if I'm right in saying, has beaten 2 top teams in his first 2 games. So far, it's looking pretty good. Now, I will say, the plan for this rebuild, obviously in the first window, I don't spend any money. If you want to back home, you would have had a budget of around 17 million. Our aim is to try and rebuild this squad and win as many trophies as we potentially can, all while having a 5-season limit. Now, in terms of this first season, they are predicting a 2nd place finish, which is pretty fair. I'll take it. The contract situation, again, is actually quite nice with AC Milan because a lot of the players that we've got to worry about, so these players up here, for example, are the highlighted players. Origi, I can take or leave. Sailmakers, I do want to keep. Tammy, I'll make the decision on after this year. Florenzi's 33, he could go. Davide, I want to keep so he can get a contract. Colombo could go, and Jovic could also go. And Torre could also go. So I'm not really stressed about players either. And the real big players have got real lengthy contracts. So not too much stress either, which is quite nice. So let's go over into the first season. Again, at any point in this video, if you do want to get this tactic and also my rebuilds, you can come over and head over to the Patreon, get all of these wonderful perks. You also unlock all of my rebuilds, by the way, all of my tactics. You get them on console and on mobile as well, and you also gain entry to the monthly giveaway. Last month's was £600, so make sure you come on over and get involved because we do a ton of stuff on there, and also you get to watch this video right now ad free. Them annoying ads, they're gone. So let's go over into the end of Season 1 and see what we can win. Okay, so Season 1 is pretty much what I would expect. We're not going to win the league. We are going to be 3 points behind Atalanta. I actually thought it would have been Inter Milan that would have won that. But to be fair to Atalanta, they are a very good team inside of the Serie A. And we were only 3 points off reaching where they were. So I'm not too fussed. One thing that I love to see is the left-hand side that is literally the main heart of this team is in that average rating, which is Rafael Leao and of course Theo Hernandez. So that's really good to see. We did pick up the most clean sheets, but we do not have a single player in the top goal scorers, which tells me defensively, we are actually really strong. But going forward, we might need to bring in a bit of an all-and-out bagsman. And I do have a certain man in mind. Now, in terms of assists, Rafael Leao did have a very good season, so I'm not going to discredit him, but I just think maybe our missing piece is a bit of a bagsman striker. Something I am surprised about, not because of the way that we lost, but it's just unfortunate really. We are going to go out in the third round of the Italian Cup against Napoli, so they are a very, very big team. Just a shame we faced them so early on. Champions League, I'm going to be honest, I don't really want to talk about it because we are actually going to lose 6-2 against AC Milan, and I'll be honest, against AC Milan, against Real Madrid, sorry, let me just clarify that. I will be honest, I expected to lose against Madrid, but 6-2, it feels a little bit too much. The team we've got isn't that bad. This is not a good performance. Looking at the actual team, we can see where the issue is. Now, in this system, the deep line forward doesn't get the opportunity to score as many goals as what an advanced forward would, for example. But to be honest with you, Tammy can play advanced forward, but he is better as a DLF. He contributes 8 goals. That's not really an issue. The issue is the lack of assists. Only 2 assists from the entire season. I doubt I will bring him in on the permanent. We've then got 18 and 15 from Leao, 15 and 12 from Pulisic. Loftus-Cheek had a decent season. Theo Hernandez scored 10 from left back and 8 assists. He actually done more than Abraham. We may as well have gone, do you know what? You play up there, mate. That's what we may as well have done. So Abraham will not be staying. 22 from Morata, which tells you a lot because he's actually booting him out of the team quite easily. We've also then got the likes of Emerson Royale with 1 assist. It's okay. Chukwueze 2 and 8. 4 goals there from Okafor as well. It's a decent season from a lot of players. Colombo out on loan had a decent season as well. Pobega, 7-4, not too bad. But realistically, what we're going to focus on doing, I think, for this actual first official window is bringing a bit of a bagsman. And I think I am going to change this to an advanced forward so we can extract more goals from the front three. Now, in terms of money, we have got a total budget of 42 million. Now, the man that I want up front is probably going to cost more than that. So we might be back with you with 1 signing. So let's go and see what we can do. If you are enjoying, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. That's a reasonable budget for the Italian league, but I tell you what, that doesn't get you a lot in today's football market. We are going to have one outgoing player in Lorenzo Colombo. He is going to go not for a lot, but for 2.2 million. It's better than nothing. He is going to move on, and we are going to say goodbye. And that kind of helped fund. We could afford him anyway. Victor Gyökeres is going to come in to AC Milan as our star-studded striker. And I tell you what, 26 goals and 2 assists. That is what I want to be seeing from my striker. He's quick, immaculate with the fitness, great finish and great composure. It's Victor Gyökeres. We know how good he is. He's an absolute machine. And this man can win me a lot. I'm going to be sensible and think about Mike Maignan. Now, he's fine to be first team for now, and this guy is purely a backup, a £15 million backup, but he is a lot better than our previous backup goalkeeper, and Marco can just come in and just play the occasional cup game, stay fit. If he's needed, he's needed. If he's not, he can eventually become the first team goalkeeper in a few years. Things are going to heat up now because we have got a game against Inter Milan, and look at that for a view, by the way. A 1-0 lead inside of 10 minutes, and I tell you what, this is one of the fiercest rivalries in world football, and Inter Milan fans, you might want to look away quite quickly because it's going to be a 2-0 lead right now, and it's going to be Benassa who is going to come in and make it 2, and it doesn't get prettier for Inter Milan. Hernandez into Rafael Leao down the left-hand side, awful defending. Benassa, another rebound, he goes alone into Leao, a 3-0 win. We are also going to lift the league, and only with 1 loss. So the addition of Gyökeres has completely 360'd the Serie A. It has. His top goal scorer, Leao 1 goal behind, Benassa from midfield in rank 4. 4 players in the average rating. Mike Maignan with the most clean sheets. 4 players in the assists. Pulisic, Loftus-Cheek, Benassa and Hernandez. This is an AC Milan sweep. Now into that Super Cup final against Atalanta, who unfortunately were down to 10 men by this point in the game. And after that man got sent off, Leao found the space and he exploited it. It's going to be a 1-0 advantage inside of 33 minutes. And again, you're playing a Milan team. You're down to 10 men. This is what you can't do. They concede a second goal around about 50 seconds after the first one. This one from the other left-hand sided player. Theo Hernandez. Absolutely beautiful. And we finish it off in a very comfortable game. The 10-man, that situation ruined them. It really, really did. Loftus-Cheek into Hernandez, the best left-back in the world. And we also improve significantly in the actual Champions League. We get to the final where we do lose against Liverpool, but we do beat some big teams. We beat Real Madrid 3-2, a big sort of switch up from the first season. Quarterfinals, we are going to beat Man City. So we beat two powerhouses and actually lost, no disrespect, to probably the easier team compared to what we did play. So I look back at this season and it is still a great season, but we were close to doing a quadruple in season 2. So realistically, this is going to be a very exciting rebuild. If you're an AC Milan fan, stick around because you're in for a treat right now. In terms of money, we've got around about 42 million, at least as consistent. We can definitely bring in a couple new players, but realistically, this team we've got already can win nearly the quadruple. The right back doing bits, 11 assists. Hernandez, 22 and 14. Now, I will say this man is told to do it all, okay? He is told to do it all, and he is a man that has got better finishing than some strikers. So it's a very unique player. Not everyone's going to do that, okay? Benassa, 21 and 26. 3 and 25 from Loftus-Cheek. Pulisic is in his prime. Leao is just ridiculous. Gyökeres is ridiculous. And the bench players don't have to do too much. 5 and 6 for Rangers, Morata with 6. Other than that, it's pretty quiet. So I will be honest with you, this team are absolutely cooking up a storm. Now, the only challenge to this is the registration laws. You can't go out and sign who you want. Sometimes you need to sign Italian players who you might have thought, do you know what, I'd rather have had someone like for this is an example, someone instead of like a Revea, you'd go and pick up a Pedri, you can't register them, stuff like that. So we are going to try and bring in some Italian players as well. And we've only got a budget of 42 million. So I'm going to play this smart because we have just won the treble. I don't want to overcomplicate things. Well, I figured the time was right to offload him because he is 34, and despite having an okay season, chipping in, when you can get 9 million for him, you've got to just cash in when you can. He actually does very well in the Saudi League, and you know what? I quite like Morata. He has played for a mixture of clubs over his years, but he's actually quite a good player, unique player, but just not part of AC Milan's project anymore. And that is part of our project is going to be Michael Coyote. He comes in from PSG, so a big move for him. We pay 55 million, but I'm happy to pay the fee. He's Italian, great for registration, great on the assist category and the goals, and forget stats, attributes. 16 acceleration, rapid pace, good stamina, good crossing, good tackling, so he can cross, he's quick, got stamina. Isn't that the perfect right back? I think it is. And a man that I hinted at, and I did go and poach, is going to be Ravella. He comes in from Lazio. He is 25, 47 million, drops a great average rating with 11 assists. And you know what? I am so confident in what we have done this season, I'm going to say something right now. If we do not win the league back-to-back, I will give away a copy. I'll give away a copy of FM24. I am that confident we have won the league because Coyote and Ravella have dropped masterclasses. The players that have gone out weren't even playing anyway. We're going to win the league again. And we have won the league again. 37 wins and 1 draw. Absolutely flawless. The 1 draw is going to be against Juventus, who finished in 4th. It's a dominant season. And once again, 4 players of ours in the average rating. Leao, Pulisic, Hernandez, Benassa, Gyökeres, Leao. 59 goals between them. Mike Maignan, most clean sheets. Pulisic, top assister. This man here, can we put some absolute respect on the King of America? Because I tell you what, Captain America is dominating the Serie A. We love to see it. A incredible season. Nearly 38 out of 38. Remarkable. Fortunately, we do not win the Italian Super Cup. We are going to fall to Inter Milan 2-1, but we can't win everything. Do find ourselves in another Italian Cup, though, this time against Juve, and I will say something. Juve done very well to get here, but when you face AC Milan and a prime Victor Gyökeres, you better turn up, and they don't turn up. 23 minutes, they go 1-0 down, and they do an absolute disaster class here, because we're now in the 64th minute. We were controlling the game, but they were holding on, you know, until this point. They concede a second, and still at this point of the game, they could have got back into it, but they just completely switch off. Hernandez into Loftus-Cheek, time on the ball, into Ravella, into Benassa, through into Pulisic, Captain America, he seals it off 3-0. To the Champions League, we're not going to make the final, we are not going to make the semi-final, we made the quarterfinals, and we are going to lose to AS Roma, and that is a team that did finish in 5th place, so I'm a little bit annoyed about that, because I do think we could beat them, but at the end of the day, I've got to take the positives. We have won the league again, we've won the Italian Cup again, and they are 2 very, very big trophies. Now, this team, I'm having so much fun with. I absolutely love it. I don't know what it is. I really love the left-hand side. I love Gyökeres. The midfield is doing such a good job in this solid 3 block. The back line's immaculate. We have got such a good team right now. Hernandez is actually scoring 20 goals again. 14 assists coming in for Coyote in his first season. The centre-backs 11 and 7. That is why you need to go and get them set pieces, because they are absolutely busted. Benassa, 16 and 21, 6 and 17 for Ravella, Loftus-Cheek, 11 and 15, 17 and 31 for Pulisic, Leao, 42 and 20, and 45 from Gyökeres, and a few players on the bench also chipping in. Sailmakers 3 and 4, 3 and 8 for Rangers, the backup right back 1 and 3. Musa, 6 and 4. It's decent, to be fair, but let's just be honest right now. I think we've got to crown it to Rafael Leao this year. He has been absolutely sublime. He's been such a joy to work with so far. He is quick, he's got the agility, he's got the flair, he can finish, he can do everything. And do you know what? Yes, there's a lot of money per week. He is on a ton of money per week, but realistically, this man is AC Milan. Not he owns the club, but you think of AC Milan, you think of Leao, you think of Hernandez. In this rebuild, you think of Gyökeres, you think of some big names. And going over to the contract situation, a lot of these big players are still in contracts till quite a long time. The people that aren't to 2027, well, these are the people we've got to worry about. We've got to worry about Toure. He can go, he needs to stay, he can go, he needs to stay, he can stay for a bit more. Royale, he can go. Sailmakers can stay, he also can go. So again, I'm not facing any stress in terms of contracts, because when I say they can go, by the way, it's not that I want them to go 100%, but if they kick up a fuss, I'll just replace them. It's not going to ruin the rebuild, so that's what I mean by that, just to clarify. But realistically, going into what is going to be the 4th season, I believe, we've got a budget, our highest budget, of £96 million. Now, for me, the idea here is to improve some of the backup players. Now, we've got a great backup goalkeeper in place from Maignan. Pulisic is 28, so not old, but maybe we could look to bring in, maybe, a bit of a younger winger and offload a Sailmakers or a Chukwueze and have a better backup winger. I think that's where the head's going. First player we're going to bring in is going to be another Italian backup midfield player in Figoli. Now, he comes in for a total of 37 million. I got charged the prime Italian tax to bring him back to the league. I'm convinced by it because he's actually quite average, but I needed a backup midfield player. And there's no better thing to do than bringing an Italian. It's great for the registration, and it just makes sense. A player that's not Italian, but hopefully won't be backup, is going to be Johan Bakayoko. Now, this guy comes in and fights hard for his position and drops 21 goals and 15 assists in his first year in the Italian league. Now, this guy is a player that I will sign on multiple rebuilds because he's quick, he can put a ball in, his finishing is his only weakness, but he's scored 21 goals, so sometimes you can't pay too much attention to these attributes because they still will get chances, and this guy clearly still will score. So with 2 new additions, we have lost 3 players here, but with 2 new big additions, or 1 real big addition, 1 backup addition who actually didn't even play a game. So let's just word this quite harshly, sadly. 1 new signing technically, really. How far can that push us? Can we go back to win another Champions League? What's going to happen? Well, time for another Italian Cup final. This one is going to be against AS Roma. And I tell you what, right now, this game was actually a lot easier than what I thought because Roma have been quite good against us. Now, we're going to take the lead inside of 5 minutes. And literally, around 7 minutes later, from a set piece, Benassa backstick and the same player scoring another header. Tior, absolutely beautiful to see. We are then going to go and control this game, and I will spoil it, win this game 3-0. Benassa into Gyökeres. Roma, goodbye. We also are going to win the league again, which means it is going to be pretty much, well, what, 2 on the bounce, 3 on the bounce with this one. It has been a remarkable time, and once again, it's the AC Milan show. Bakayoko, Hernandez, Leao, Benassa are going to be your best average rating players. Mike Maignan, who has been the best goalkeeper in Italy for quite some years in this rebuild, dominates again. Gyökeres, top goal scorer. Bakayoko in there as well in 4th place. This has been a remarkable season. This time we do lose a game. We lose 3 games against Inter Milan, Atalanta and Torino, but we still lead by 9 points. And now into the Super Cup final against Atalanta. They could get revenge, and it's looking pretty likely. Maignan is just, I don't know what he's doing. He's just on the floor letting them score. But unfortunately for Atalanta, they can attack, but they can't defend. Look at this pass and play. Break through the lines into Loftus-Cheek, who goes alone and ties it up to push us all the way to extra time. Yeah, extra time. Where we are going to go and score pretty much from a set-piece sort of deflection, a poor clearance into Musa, 102 minutes on the clock, by the way, into Reinders, and that... How has that gone through? I'm not going to complain. A 2-1 advantage, and now this is where we insert dominance. Musa wins it back into Kalou, into Rivera, takes his time, finds his man, Leao in the middle, a 3-1 win. Once again, runners-up in the Champions League. Now, I don't mind being runners-up, but it would be nice to obviously go and... We have won one, haven't we? We haven't won one yet. Okay, I thought we had won one, so I want to really try and... I want to win a Champions League, I'm going to be honest. I want to win a Champions League. I thought I won one. Obviously, I haven't. We have won tons of these Italian Cups and tons of the Serie A titles, but the big challenge now is to lift this Champions League, and I tell you what, with this team, I'm surprised we haven't, because the team's incredible. So for our last season, we've got a budget of 40, a lot more than 40, 96 million pounds again. How are the debts looking? Very, very minor, to be honest. Very, very good. We're a rich club. We love to see it. And going over to the tactics, we can go and see our team right now and how everyone done. And it's the same story. Hernandez, 18 and 15. 2 and 14 for Coyote, 10 from the centre half. It's remarkable, man. It really, really is. Reinders 9 and 7, 8 and 17 for Rivera. Loftus-Cheek 7 and 12. So happy that this guy's kept his place in the team, by the way, throughout this entire rebuild. I wanted to do it to, you know, I quite like Loftus-Cheek, but who knows? Maybe that will change for the last season. Maybe as a spoiler. Pulisic has, yeah, obviously been replaced, I would imagine, by the likes of Bakayoko, who is now coming in with 26 and 20, 38 and 12 from Leao, 39 and 4 from Gyökeres, 11 and 12 from Benassa, the backup right back with 4, 2 and 2 for Musa, and obviously Pulisic is now going to be the backup winger. Originally, the plan was for this man to be the backup in Bakayoko, but he's obviously come into the team and, you know, told the American to step to one side. So what can I do? I'm going to let the players fight for a position, and going into the last season, Season 5, the idea and the ambition is to lift this. And I'm going to say it, I will sacrifice any of these trophies to win that one. That's the missing piece of the puzzle. Let's see if we can do it. Leave a like if you think I can. Comment if you think I can't. Just do something. I mean, hopefully I don't see many comments. Hopefully you back the manager, because I'm hoping we can win it. Let's get into the last season. Please, please, FM gods, let me win a Champions League. Hey, come on, stay. I thought I'd just get a little bit in the video. But the first signing is going to be Karim Konate. Now, he's going to come in to bolster the front line a little bit more. He comes in and only plays 18 games. But I will say he cost me a pretty big amount, so hopefully in the future he does contribute a bit more. So those of you that are going to carry on this rebuild file, let me know how he does, because the guy looks absolutely nuts and he offers something a little bit different to Gyökeres. So I'm hoping between the two, maybe they could have played their part and won me a Champions League. Who knows? And the last signing is going to be a big signing, 125 million installment signing, Scalvini. He comes in and plays almost every game, drops a great average rating, and he is one of the better centre-backs in the entire of Italy. I'm going to get the basics out the way, because it is a basic now. We've won it 4 times. We are going to win the Italian League 4 times back-to-back, and this one is dominant. Only 1 loss coming in against Fiorentina, and once again, Hernandez, Leao, Loftus-Cheek stampede and dominate the average rating. Mike Maignan, the most clean sheets, Hernandez, the most assists, and Victor Gyökeres keeps and dominates his place in the team with 31 goals. This competition is all AC Milan. It's all it is. We are the Serie A. So now into that Italian Cup final, and this one was one incredible game against Napoli, and we are going to deal the first blow here with one of the more scrappy goals of the video. I will say it's not a pretty goal, to be honest with you. And Napoli were playing some good stuff, but this was the issue with them. They just couldn't really link it all together, and Reinders is going to pick it up and just drive, run in a straight line, go alone, cut it back, and actually just say, do you know what, I'll have the goal. And Napoli just weren't close enough. They weren't linking the play. This is the only thing they done, to be honest, that was real quality, was a good set piece. I will give credit where it is due, but at the end of the day, after that, it was pretty much all AC Milan. And despite them really trying to press high, win the ball back, we were getting in behind every single time. And when you're conceding goal after goal, which after this goal, by the way, the one you're seeing now was about 25 seconds after, they're a team that were just falling apart. And outside of the foot cross from Hernandez into Bakayoko, at this point it was 4-1, and there was still enough in the tank to go and score 2 more goals. The first one, Hernandez drives, cuts it back into Reinders, and it was like a pass into the bottom right corner. Mere definitely not at the races this game either. And literally in the last kick of the game, 3 minutes added on, 93rd minute, Pulisic down the left-hand side. Nice to see him actually play in a final. Gyökeres is going to have the last laugh. A 6-1 win. We are also going to lift the Italian Super Cup 3-1 over Inter Milan, leaving the Champions League. We're in the round of 16. We are going to just nearly get eliminated, but we edge past Manchester United 6-5 into the quarters, where we just about edge over Chelsea 2-1. We'll get into the semi-finals where we butcher Liverpool, and then we play Inter Milan, an all-out Italian clash. Who would have thought it? And this is where I need my star players to shine. I need them so much. I need Gyökeres to perform. I need Hernandez to perform. And so far, it's looking likely. A great start from Gyökeres there to make it 1-0. And this is a man that I have relied on so much. But Inter Milan have got Amad Diallo. And he is a big danger man who's going to cut it back inside. And that is going to be a stinker from Maignan, to be honest. And now we are back up against the wall. But we have been back up against the wall multiple times in this video, and I tell you what, it's where we thrive. Pulisic wins it back into Gyökeres, and that is going to be a 2-1 win. That is right, it is going to be the complete quadruple. The Serie A, the Italian Cup, the Super Cup, and the Champions League. We have completed football. We've dominated football. The club info, we are now a perfect 5 out of 5 team. We're minted. The owners love us. Why wouldn't you? The trophy cabinet is now not big enough. We've won so many trophies, so many Serie A titles, the Champions League, multiple Italian Cups, Super Cups, the whole shebang we have won. If you are going to carry on, you've got a budget of 95 million and also practically a debt-free club. The team I've left you with is nothing but remarkable. An absolute incredible team, where we are going to see Hernandez finish off with 25 and 24. He is by far the best left-back I've ever used in a rebuild. 15 and 21 for Reinders, Revea 5 and 22, 12 and 15 for Loftus-Cheek, Pulisic 9 and 16, 37 and 17 for Leao, Gyökeres 47 and 7, 12 and 17 for Bakayoko, and other players also chipping in. But this man here, where would we be if we didn't sign him? Where would we be? No one's ever going to know, but that is why I signed him, because I knew he would play very well in this league. And this man here, thanks for staying, because you are an absolute gem. Same goes for you, mate, as well, because genuinely, without these players, don't know where we would be, because this has been a dominant display of a rebuild where we have won everything we really can. So if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you do want to carry it on and get the tactic, you know where to go in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.